Do you know what I have on my hands right now? 20 minutes worth of a fucking loser talking at a stage rehearsal. I want to use it, but how should I categorize and present it? Just shit out raw audio and call it a day? Draw little JPEGs all over the screen because the video is shit? Put some clickbait title so people will feel cheated? What if I said, fuck all of that? So I fucked them all, and now you have this video of me talking from my perspective. Uh, uh, check, 1, 2, 3. Your mom is a pretty nice lady, when she's not being a bitch.
Mike sounds good.
Alright, cool. Hey, it's me. And it's stand-up time. How y'all doing tonight? Great. Fantastic. Well, first impressions are pretty important, huh? How you initially present things comes with how you want to frame said thing, also known as context. And within that context are certain expectations that are associated with said thing. So why am I saying this? Well, first to meet the rhetorical question quota, and to lower your expectations by starting with a sex joke. So when I say sex joke, hey, you got a minute? I want to practice some crowd work. Yeah, it'll be a quickie. Yeah, you can still answer while setting up. Yeah, that's fine. Hi, what's your name?
I'm John.
John. Well, hi there, John. So what do you do for a living?
I'm a section manager.
A section manager. Well, I'm not too well versed in that field, but from what I've read online, you're like middle management. You manage your own little team's projects while getting pressured from the top brass. Is that right?
Yeah. You can call it that. Yeah, a little pressure from both sides.
You getting spit roasted?
Yeah.
Nice. So is everyone else. Thank you, John. It always fascinates me the way businesses come up with job titles. A perfect example of framing, actually. Like, I'm not just a baker. I'm a professional carbohydrate thermal regulator and Saccharomyces cerevisiae cultivator. So going back to the original topic, I find sex jokes to be the low-hanging fruit of the comedy world. You know, not everyone enjoys it. It can be used for shock value or simply to get reactions that some people get, like John, and those who don't get it, like me. But the ones that overreact, you know they really don't get it. Let's take, for example, a cherry tree. You know, they're low hanging. You can eat it right off the tree. You can juggle those cherries in one hand, or use as a speed bag, you know, your choice. And maybe the branches are so low that you can get on your knees and eat it like those cookies on a string game. I mean, you do you. I'm only gonna silently judge you. A lot. From a distance. I personally think that the real way to land these jokes is to be discreet. You know, treat the bananas, the grapefruits, and the melons with respect. And you've got yourself a fruit salad that can be enjoyed either on their own or mixed. But you can't overdo it. And the real sex joke killer, for me at least, is the moment you use the word innuendo. All of the fun gets sucked out. The punchline is dead. There is no climax. It makes me so angry. You know, I'm looking at John's reactions, and even though he gets spit roasted, I think he gets regular roasted a lot too. That was a joke. Thanks for being such a champ, John. Alright, well, enough of the stupid stuff. Let's talk about the purposeful omission of information, the mystery behind the curtain, and the saying that truth is stranger than fiction. So, what does that mean? Does that mean realistic fiction is just strange? Well, it can be if you wanted to, but it's just a premise that more people can relate to while fantasizing. And by mixing these two together, you get the magic of two-sentence stories. Plausible scenarios that lead to the punchline reveal. And I find these to be pretty entertaining, especially when it comes to shock value, depending on how fucked up you want to be. Like, here's some introductory examples. This one time, I almost got shot while trying to withdraw from the bank, and the cops would not stop chasing me. This other time, I took a shit in a hole because there wasn't anywhere else to go. Turns out, the open hole was for a cask lowering. Just like you can infer to fill plot holes, you can also lie to create whole stories. But where do we draw the line between the labeling of lies and realistic fiction? It's the context of where you're saying it, the intent. So if I told the President of the United States that I shit in a cemetery hole, there's a good chance things won't go well for me. Hi, what's your name?
Felipe.
Felipe. Hi there, Felipe. I've got a great icebreaker question for you. Have you ever shit in a hole before? And porta potties don't fucking count.
No.
No. Good. A normal answer that most of us would like to hear. Unless I purposefully disregarded Felipe's answer, and I started writing a mystery fanfic of Felipe secretly shitting in random holes across the nation and getting away with it. I promoted it as a true story, and so many people believed it that Netflix decided to make a documentary about it. Slander, defamation, false advertising, and Netflix went to pick up any shitty premise aside. That's quite the two-sentence story. Did you like that story, Felipe?
Nope.
Great, because I didn't either. Thank you, Felipe. So let's take this a little further. One of my favorite games is Two Truths, One Lie. But since I have two short stories, we're gonna play One Truth, One Lie, while keeping the theme of realistic fiction. So this one time, while I was in like 8th grade or something, during a family trip to Las Vegas, now I was in the elevator by myself, coming from the pool to go to my room. I step out, and like 3 seconds later, the second elevator dings, and some fucking toddler, butt naked and covered in soap, just fucking bolts out, scream laughing, and runs off down the hall. Now, of course, I'm standing there like fucking shocked. Like, what the fuck did I just see? Hello? A few more moments later, I hear the door to the stairwell go ka-drunk, and the lady comes onto the floor from the staircase, and she looked flustered as hell, and her hair was a fucking mess. And she asks me in a raspy voice, "Did you see my kid on this floor?" And I go, yeah, they went down that way. And she just did like a tiny little nod and didn't say anything else, just hoists herself back up and fucking jogs off in the direction that I'm pointing in. And man, dude, fucking parenting must be fucking rough for some people out there. Like, I don't know what happened after that. I just went off to my room. And this is only one of the reasons why I don't want any fucking gremlin offspring. Because I know my genes the best. Alright, so here is the second story. So during my junior year and senior year of high school, there's this guy that sold brownies every Friday. Homemade. Now, I personally called him the Brownie Baron. And they weren't spiked or anything, no weed, no nothing. But they were good as hell, man. Oh my god, fucking mwah, delish. And it was only for like $1 for like a 3 or 4 inch by 1 inch brick. Like that shit was value. Like if you didn't run into him early enough in the day, you were out of luck. And the amount of $1 bills I saw this guy rake in, you would think he was going to a fucking strip club afterwards. Holy shit. And at some point during the year, there was like a sudden surge of kids bringing in those candy boxes with like the good candy for fundraisers. Like you couldn't even turn a corner without seeing kid walking around with a candy box. Of course, it got so bad that the school staff had to shut that down after a few months. But this guy, fucking genius. At this point, he already got his dedicated, addicted crackheads hooked on that shit. So it was a guaranteed sale for all his stock to a small group of people that won't rat him out. Always, Friday, Trader Joe's paper bag, brownies on bottom, fake out on top so teachers and staff won't think it's anything. How do I know so much about this? I was a crackhead. Alright, so 2 lovely little stories. And by raise of hands, who thinks that story 1 is true? Alright, what about hands for story 2? And what about hands if you think both are true? What? Wait, a fake out? Okay, but what about hands that think that both are lies? Oh, shit, man, he just added another choice. Is that even legal? Huh? Hey, I saw that you didn't raise your hand in the back for any choices. Hey, Matt, I gotta know. Do you vote?
Yes.
What the fuck, man? Alright. So what's the answer? Now that I've fucked up the multiple choice question for everyone, the answer is the brownie story was true. Whoop, misdirection. But now here's the framing at work. I was the brownie baron. And I was indeed a crackhead. But for those dollar bills, baby. Did I just dox myself? I'm sure it'll be fine, right? So, while I'm in denial about having no consequences for my own actions, let's talk about different points of view. So let's say there's an incomplete image in front of me. But regardless if I choose to only look at one corner of said image or not, then what I've got is a narrow point of view. And I can make up whatever I want to fill in the spots that I either can't or choose not to see. Just like my limited view of my new friend, Holshitter Felipe over here. But from the perspective of someone who has known Felipe their whole life, they'll probably see me as an asshole. And when you've got conflicting perspectives, it's just another way of saying we have different opinions. Now, understand that I'm talking very surface level, or don't, it's up to you. Let's say I ask Matt, hey Matt, are you in denial?
No.
And to that, I say, from my perspective, just by saying no, you are in denial, but not being in denial, fuck you, you need to change your mind because I'm clearly not a hypocrite. Uh-oh, now we have conflicting perspectives. Now, we could talk it out, debate, and hopefully come to an agreement, but fistfighting on the street with some random person to record us and get millions of views sounds much more entertaining. Right, Matt? I'll take that as a yes. I'll see you in the alleyway. Yeah, I'm not here to tell you how to solve your problems. But if you do take advice from strangers, take it from me. And don't take advice from strangers. By the way, you three have been great audience members. I really appreciate you guys going along with my stupid little act here while you're working setting up. All right. Let me write down some quick notes here. I do think I need to tweak a few things with the script's overall flow. Might need to entirely cut the sex joke at the beginning, rewrite that whole part. The lighting is great, by the way, Matt. After our fist fight, I like to go over some lighting adjustments during some parts. Crowd work needs more work. Wow, thanks for the feedback, Captain Obvious. You're welcome, me. And okay. Alright, well let's wrap this up. Now, I'm the type of person that is in a perpetual state of suspended disbelief, in case you didn't pick up on that already. Why? Because it's fun. My imagination taking off in wild directions and straight into a writer's block. Another reason is that it's a coping mechanism, and life always has a way to make you grow as a person, whether you like it or not. So, what will you do when your world is being forcibly changed as reality starts to shift and break apart? Will you change your perspective?